You're familiar with the phrase, man's reach exceeds his grasp. It's a lie. Man's grasp exceeds his nerve. Nikola Tesla. He is able who thinks he is able. Buddha. Time came to stop expecting any surprise gifts that life creates, but to start creating the life itself. Leo Tolstoy. Success Hunter. That happens every morning. Money, money. The moment you utter that word, be aware of the sensations it creates within you. Can you tell? Do you like saying that word? Or is it sort of uncomfortable? Are you in habit of refraining from saying this word too often, perhaps giving out some clues about it, or replace it with some oblique euphemism? Declare at this instance, money. Listen to your voice. Does it exude confidence? I will tell you a story. I was driving my car some time ago and heard something that left me bewildered. I think you know that thing when people call the radio station and request a song as a form of a gift to their loved ones. A mother-in-law wants to send a birthday gift to her son-in-law. She wishes him well, she wishes him good luck and good health. Her voice sounds all chirpy and happy and suddenly pauses. Then she adds almost gravely, "And I wished him a lot of money." People want more money than they have now, but at the same time, they're ashamed of their aspiration. They feel guilty for the fact they wish more money. People perceive money as something immoral, disgraceful to a good person. Now I have a question. Why do you need money? In fact, what you need is not money, but what it gives you. Opportunities to realize your dreams, opportunities to spend more time with your family and friends, opportunities to live your life as you like it. Many people think wealth and success are a matter of good luck. Some people are lucky to be born into a wealthy family. Some win the lottery, and others are born with natural talent. Some find themselves in the right place at the right time when $1 million falls from the sky. Do you really believe that you can get rich that way? I have spent more than 20 years trying to determine what is it that makes us successful. And you know what? There is no magic trick to becoming happy, successful, or rich. But then I do know something that others don't. I call them the principles of success. I have long sought for these principles. I put them together bit by bit. I wanted to understand how rich and prosperous people think and act. This resulted in me developing the 12 principles of success. I have carefully tested each of these principles throughout my own life. I applied them to myself and taught those around me. It is thanks to these principles that I, simply a guy from a small military town, become a millionaire, and thousands of my friends, staff members, colleagues, and followers achieved financial independence. I will share with you this unique knowledge and personal experience. Using these principles, you will achieve real success entirely on your own, without any training or mentor. How does it work? You will receive a simple, easy-to-understand action plan that consists of 12 steps. After studying one step each month, after a year had passed, you won't recognize yourself. However, you won't need to wait a whole year to see your first results. As soon as you begin acting on your own plan, you will immediately notice improvements in your life. Are you ready to start? Then here is your first principle. We know what we are, but not what we may be. William Shakespeare. Principle 1. I. Governor Schwarzenegger, you have achieved incredible success in sports, film, and politics. What is success for you personally? What is really a success for you?
I think success basically means that you're accomplishing your goals. I think we all have a certain kind of idea of what we want to do in life. Some people have big visions, like myself, I had big visions. Other people have small goals. And in either case, that's perfectly fine, as long as you have a goal and you accomplish it. You know, that's success, basically. That means that you have been successful. And it doesn't mean that you are successful because you have achieved a big goal. As long as you achieve a goal, whatever your goal is, then you're successful.
How do you feel when you learn that someone you know well makes more money than you do? Your answer will show how honest you are with yourself. Are you happy for them? Let's be honest. Maybe what you're feeling is envy, resentment, anger, disappointment. In our society, it is not customary to openly acknowledge these feelings. We may light up a fake smile and unwillingly congratulate others on their success. We get used to deceiving ourselves like this time after time. This is not the only habit of ours related to our thinking that inhibits us from achieving what we want. Soon you'll understand why. Some people tend to look for reasons for their bad luck externally. They think they are simply unlucky, not valued by others, or that life is just unfair. Although it is actually the way that we think, the way that we see ourselves and the world around us that plays a key role in our success. If you have not yet achieved what you wanted to achieve, then you are suffering from an ineffective way of thinking. My next question is, how do you act under stress? What are your habits for dealing with difficult situations? Everything that you have today is the result of your thinking 2 days ago and your actions yesterday. Your thoughts determine your actions, and your actions bring results. If you don't like your results, the only way to get what you want is to change the mindset you begin with. Here is something for you to think about. When you were born, you didn't have an opinion about money. The same is true of all other things. We learn from others. We see and hear how people around us relate to and think about money. As we hold no other opinion, we consider their opinion to be true. We learn to believe their point of view, and then we take the same approach to anything that is related to money, wealth, or prosperity. As a result, an understanding of money becomes ingrained in us. This leads us to make certain actions and ending up with a predictable result. Please concentrate on what I am going to say next. If you want something that you don't already have, you must start doing something you've never done before. You need to understand that you cannot achieve a different result by continuing to do the same thing you have been doing all along. As soon as you realize that you will be able to change your approach to life and become successful as you wish. Do you doubt this? Do you really believe that life is so unfair that it won't give to you what it gives to others? Don't cheat yourself. We all live in the same world. We all live under the same conditions, yet there are those who succeed and those who don't. This happens because some have developed the psychology of poverty and scarcity, while the others have developed the psychology of wealth and abundance. Each person sees what his or her subconscious shows them. Now, I will tell you the biggest secret of successful people, but first, I want to ask you something. What do you do when you pass by expensive shops? Do you take the time to look inquisitively through the shop window? Do you feel the urge to walk in, try on a new watch, a new suit, or jewelry? Or do you simply hurry past? Most people feel shy when they walk past expensive stores. Even if they do find themselves in an expensive boutique, they feel absolutely out of place. Many people have convinced themselves to believe that they do not deserve or are not worthy of such expensive items. And you know what? It's only them who feel that way, and not others around them. They hold their own beliefs about the living standard, which they do deserve. Some people sincerely believe they are worthy of having only the very best, while others are happy with less. It all comes down to our own judgment regarding what you yourself deserve. All rich and successful people are confident that they deserve the very best, and this is why they end up with the very best. You are no different from them, so you are worthy of the very best. To achieve that, you need to be courageous enough to wish for the very best. That was your birthright from the very beginning. I get to talk to a very diverse range of people, and understandably, as a wealthy person who has created his wealth from scratch, I often get asked about ways to become rich. I'll tell you something that is very surprising. Those people who ask don't actually want their profits to grow considerably. Those people who at first seemed so thirsty for wealth, in fact, they left their lives unchanged and did nothing to change them from the better. Deep down, they're not ready, they're afraid. People are happy to dream about it, but they're happy to live under the illusion that anything is possible. At the same time, they don't really believe that they have the opportunity. Your life can be incredibly full, fruitful, and beautiful, but often we're not willing to continue trying after we have achieved a certain level of comfort. We stop because our own limiting thoughts. It is time we changed our attitude towards ourselves. You are a winner. You were born a winner, and it is time you accept that. You deserve the very best, everything that you can imagine. Yes, you. I mean you. The conviction is that your life is difficult and unfair has been forced upon you. This is not your own thinking. These ideas come from your parents, school teachers, friends, other people's, but not yourself. Some time ago, you heard these opinions and took them to be true. You can easily get rid of them. The whole essence here is simply you get to decide how you think about wealth and money. Now the question becomes, how do you get rid of all these negative ways of thinking about life and start thinking a new way? From that moment on, substitute each negative thought with a positive one. Replace I cannot with I can and I will. Replace I will fail with I will always succeed. Replace I do not know what to do with I can always find an excellent solution. Replace I can't afford it with I can always get what I want. This is in fact much simpler than you think. Guess what often becomes an unsurmountable obstacle for those who aspire to succeed? It is when you say one thing, but somewhere deep in your heart you are sure of the opposite. It is you who does not allow yourself to get what you dream of. So, it is right now that you need to start working on building your healthy self-esteem. Take the time to nourish your subconscious with healthy, positive thought. You must choose positive thinking and be selective about what you're reading, watching, or talking about. Keep learning new things and never stop developing yourself. Watch motivational videos, read useful books, communicate with positive thinking and successful people, and keep working persistently on the principles I'm describing you in this film. Right now, approach a mirror. The person you see in the mirror is responsible for all the things you have and all the things you don't have. You have created the life that you're living and that you're currently unhappy with. But what is most remarkable is that you can turn everything around as well. Your success is in your hands. How much better a thing it is to be envied than to be pitied. Herodotus. The principle 2. Millionaire. It is time for you to meet your new reality. It's the morning, you open your eyes, you're very happy to see everything around you. You wake up when you're ready, not when your alarm goes off. You take a shower, you have breakfast. You're not in a hurry because you are the master of your own schedule. You take your time drinking delicious tea. Then you get into your newly purchased car. You're looking forward to an incredible day. The day begins well. All the roads lie ahead of you. You choose the route, continue toward your unlimited opportunities. This is an ordinary morning in your new life. Now it is time for you to implement this dream you had into your own reality. But there's just one thing you need to learn first. Now I'll share something quite amazing. Some people believe that those who are rich are cunning and take advantage of others. They're sure that to become wealthy you need to deceive others, cheat, steal, and betray harshly and ruthlessly. If you too think this way, then here's a surprising paradox for you to ponder. How can you become wealthy if you hate wealthy people? Surely you don't want to become everything that you're against. So, while one part of you wants to become rich, the other part of you puts up a fight against it. Many people are afraid of becoming wealthy. And I mean afraid. I have chosen this word on purpose. They're afraid of having to pay too large a price for obtaining their financial freedom. As you understand, even one negative thought about wealth can prevent you from ever accumulating large amounts of money. This means that the first step you need to take is to get rid of all the poisonous views of those who have failed. For example, that money does not bring happiness. But actually, happiness does not depend on being rich or poor. Your happiness is an entirely different thing. So why should you establish a relationship that, speaking objectively, does not exist? Money in itself is just an opportunity to implement your wishes into reality. Whether money makes you happy or not depends exclusively upon you, your mood, your attitude, and your spending habits. You can be happy or unhappy, with or without money. So if one thing does not interfere with the other, why not be happy and rich? And what do you think about someone saying that to be rich you need to work 24 hours a day? Let me tell you right away, this will certainly not make you rich. I know some people who work 3 jobs and can hardly pay their mortgage. Naturally, to live well, you will have to work a lot. This fact can hardly be disputed. Strangely, to maintain a high standard of living, you can continue working at the same amount of hours. Here's a secret for you. What matters most is not how much you work, but how profitable your work is. And don't console yourself by saying, although I may not have a palace of gold, I have my loved ones, my children, everyone is healthy, so I should be thankful. You deserve to have both. Get rid of the either-or thinking. You can have both. Of course, you can tell me, Roman, it is easy for you to say you're rich. Let me clarify one point here. Your success depends entirely upon you. So, if there's one thing that I am definitely not going to do, is talk to you into being rich, happy, and successful. But I can teach you. I can show you the shortest path to financial success, but you will have to be motivated to grow and progress on your own. Some people hide their lack of motivation and short-sightedness with a mask of worrying about other people. They say that if they become rich, they will be taking money from less fortunate people. But now, let's look at this idea critically. You are not taking anything away from anybody else. I'm talking here about legal wealth, of course, which means that all the money you're making is legally yours. Mind you, if you're rich, you actually have many more opportunities and means to help others. I've often heard that money is evil, and rich people are evil too. Aren't you ashamed to be rich?
I'm very happy that I have money, because if I wouldn't have money, I wouldn't be able to live as well as I do, drive the cars that I have, and on top of it, be able to travel around the world and learn everything. And most importantly, I wouldn't have the money to put into charity. See, it's very important that we give money, that we share with the money.
Stop deceiving yourself. Money will not make you a horrible person. It will only emphasize the attributes that you already have. Now let's move from talking to doing. You need to form your own understanding of wealthy people. To do that, gather all the information available to you. Read the biographies of wealthy people and watch interviews with them. Get filled with their energy. Absorb their worldview. In all this information, find something that you can respect wealthy people for. After all, soon you will become one of us. To become wealthy, you need to attract wealth into your life. You must be completely inspired by this idea. This is why you should surround yourself with people, situations, and things that evoke positive emotions. Right now, you need to start buying the best clothes you can afford. Eat delicious, healthy food from beautiful plates. Support positive thoughts, vitality, and well-being. Communicate with successful people, those who think like winners do. All of this will give you the required inspiration and create the right mindset. Success and wealth are gained by those who work persistently toward their goal, those who keep developing the qualities they need to achieve their aim. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. Oscar Wilde. Principle number 3. Decisiveness. As the famous saying goes, self comes first. The meaning behind the wise phrase is quite simple. You're the best person to take care of your own interests. Look around. What do people around you keep talking about? What topics get raised again and again in mass media? Healthcare, education, retirement, money. Do these topics sound all too familiar? What do you hear? People are constantly unhappy, which is quite surprising. What prevents you from reading books or getting additional education to become a better qualified specialist? What prevents you from eating right and exercising in order to stay healthy? What prevents you from accumulating your own retirement money that will allow you to live a decent life later on? Those who choose what might seem like a simple way, putting their lives into other hands, get exactly the results they deserve. And let me tell you, you make that choice yourself. You yourself gave your life away to other people. However, as surprising as it may seem, you can start changing things around right now. Very often, people complain that they have never been taught those skills. Do you really believe that your happiness, success, and well-being are as important to anyone else as it is to you and your loved ones? Others are often thinking about themselves. They don't have unlimited time to dedicate toward your life. Question is, how important is your life for your own self? The main goal for anyone who wants to become successful is to become your own leader. When you try to unload your problems on someone else, you end up in a very precarious position. On one hand, you stop taking care of yourself, and on the other hand, you complain that you're not getting what you need from those trying to help. You must become responsible for your own life. Naturally, you'll have to work to achieve your happiness, and you'll have to own all your mistakes. But then again, all your merits, achievements, and results will be yours too. There is one more important detail. Don't let other people's opinion influence your courage, your mindset, or your decisiveness. No one knows exactly what you can achieve and what a great person you can become. You shouldn't start labeling yourself as a failure preemptively either. You can only tap into your true abilities once you start acting. When you listen to other people's opinion about yourself and take them to be true, you lose self-confidence. In the end, it is no longer you who manages your life, but other people whose opinion you have trusted. By doing so, you allow yourself to be persuaded by others, to give up on your plans, ideas, and goals. In the end, you are left with nothing, unsure of yourself, deprived of strength.
One of my rules to success has always been, don't listen to the naysayers. My own father said, you're crazy. Well, you want to be the most muscular man? Why don't you go out and chop wood and do something for the people, be useful? Go and shovel some coal and bring the coal upstairs. You will get strong from that. So he said crazy things like that. He didn't believe in me. He didn't believe that I will make it. He just thought I should be one of the regular, ordinary people and not have crazy dreams. My mother didn't believe it. She was doubting me. She was worried when I came home. During my school break at lunchtime, I would come home and I would do 250 sit-ups. She says, I'm going to call the doctor because this is not normal. You're going to kill yourself. You're working too hard. You're always training. So she didn't believe in it. So there was a lot of people that said, no, you can't make it. When I wanted to get into movies, they said in Hollywood, the most positive people said, you will not make it. You have an accent. You sound like a Nazi. They said you have a big body. You weigh 250 pounds. It's too big. And your name Schwarzen, Schnitzel or whatever your name is, I don't know what, but I mean, whatever it is, the name, it's not gonna work. So everyone said no, but I didn't care. I knew, Arnold knew that I'm gonna make it because I saw it in front of me and I could visualize it.
Never doubt yourself. Never doubt your abilities. Even when you don't think you have the abilities, it simply means that you haven't discovered them yet or learned how to use them. As soon as you begin acting, you will discover many new talents that you have never suspected that you had. Some people believe they need someone else's support to achieve their goals. Yes, having support feels good. But the truth is, no one actually cares as much as you. So get ready to take your first steps on your own. Now, here's something interesting. You always have all the support you need. Those who have achieved their success on their own know where to find their main source of support and assistance. You have been understanding yourself, but you're underestimating yourself for many years. You have much more power, confidence, and ability than you can imagine. If you really want to become happy and rich, you need to accept the fact that you alone are responsible for your life. If you really want to become successful, you must make the decision to become successful. If you really want to become wealthy, you must make the decision to become wealthy. If you really want to become a millionaire, you must make a decision to become a millionaire. When you decide that you want to achieve something, you must simultaneously take it upon yourself the responsibility to achieve your goal by all means. It is only then that you will get what you want. I often hear people say that they would like to have much more money. But when you say, I would like this or that, you give the impression that you are uncertain. They seem to be empty words. Don't just try for success. Guarantee success by acting in the necessary way to achieve your goal, whatever the costs. In other words, the only possible outcome is victory. When you start your journey with this mindset and act decisively and deliberately, you will always get what you want. Courage is the beginning of victory. Plutarch. Principle number 4. Audacity. Let me tell you a story. There was a time in my life when my business partner fraudulently took all my money and assets, defamed me in front of my family, and threatened my life. I had a difficult choice to make. On one hand, I could have started a war, and some part of me wanted to do that. I'm a man, I'm a military officer. My honor and dignity were insulted. They threatened my family. Surely, you must understand why I left this way. But then there's another part of me, cool and strategic. I knew well that this course of action couldn't lead me anywhere but destruction. Attempting to achieve victory by all means would have completely drained me. Getting revenge may have destroyed my family. So what did I do? You'd be surprised, but acting courageously requires as much energy as remaining a coward. Constant fears, worries, and doubt drain all of your energy, so you end up with almost nothing left. Only when you're audacious can you cope with the main enemy of success. I'm talking about fear. Fear which manifests in doubt, uncertainty, anxiety, and lack of confidence. The way in which fear appears can be diverse, but in the end, always result in negative thoughts such as I can't, I won't succeed, or I can't deal with it. These negative thoughts make you lose confidence in your own abilities and often lead not to even daring to dream of achieving success. No matter how brave you feel right now, you can always be braver. To achieve this, remember 2 simple things. Believe in your courage and always act the way a courageous person would. At any point in time, focus all of your attention on winning. And act as if you have already won. Focus on your ability to overcome any difficulties. Believe in yourself again and again. With time, you will find how surprisingly different your attitude to problems and troubles will become. Whenever you are worried or in doubt, focus your will in the right direction. Remind yourself of the goal and tell yourself again why it is important for you. Develop a habit to think positively. Don't allow yourself to even think about failure or anything to that effect. Please understand that you will need to change your attitude toward overcoming difficulties. You must not only learn to overcome them, you need to learn to change the way you react to them to benefit you. Now I'll tell you how can this be done. It is time now to talk about a special way of reacting to difficulties. I call this approach the winner's strategy. I've learned this from great military leaders of the past. Firstly, never panic. Never, ever. This is the main thing to remember. Get a hold of all available information. Carefully analyze and, most importantly, double-check all the facts, as you may be reading misinformation. Thirdly, think strategically. Sometimes you will need to sacrifice small things in the beginning to keep the energy and determination needed to carry on at the end. This tactic will help you retain your most important resources: money, time, and strength. Plan your actions thoroughly. Always remember the goal that you want to achieve. Your action plan must be detailed but flexible enough. You can never foresee everything, so you must always have a plan B. A big mistake almost everybody makes is planning for success without planning for failure. When you plan, you must be ready for anything. Don't be a dreamer, be realistic. Then act. Be fast, energetic, and decisive. Never doubt anything. Never slow down. When something fails, don't continue along the same path. It will only make the problem worse. Perseverance is an excellent quality. Stubbornness isn't. It is always more effective to think a situation over and come back with a fresh perspective. Perhaps you will then notice the important details you hadn't even noticed initially. This can help you improve your plan of action or find a new solution. When I faced the choice of either starting a war with my former partner or forgetting everything and starting anew, I spent many hours pondering this problem. So I decided to start everything from scratch. And it was absolutely the right decision. All the energy I would have wasted on fighting that war, I ended up spending on the new project. In the end, I achieved considerably more. I may have lost the battle, but I have won the war. In many cases, it is not the difficulties themselves, but the reaction that you have to those difficulties that becomes the main obstacle on your way to success. Every new day, every hour, and every minute give you a new chance to win. Always try to achieve your goal. Even when you think that you have no chance, strike. Sooner or later, you will score. The poor man is not he who is without a cent, but he who is without a dream. Socrates. The principle number 5. Goal. Have you ever noticed how often people complain about their lives? They are unhappy with what they have achieved. Money is just the result. Wealth is just the result. Your desired level of life is just the result as well. It is the result of your thoughts and actions. What you have today is the result of your previous thoughts and your previous actions. You created the foundation of this result, not today, but many years ago. When we talk about the success and wealth, we find a remarkable paradox. Many people have neither financial goals nor plans to achieve them. Of course, when we have no clearly defined goal or any clear understanding of what we can never achieve, we can never achieve it. It is, after all, no different from getting into the car without any idea where you're going. You can spend hours driving around, but you can never get to the destination. How could you? After all, even you yourself have no idea. So, rule 1. To get what you want, you must very clearly understand what it is that you want. And this is where we face a problem. Many people have only a very general idea of how they want to live. They may even set a couple of goals, but in the end, for some reason, they never achieve them. Has this ever happened to you? It's like that plan to start exercising on Monday. So, how can you learn to achieve the goals that you set? Surprisingly, you need to start with a dream. What is your dream? What is your ultimate desire? At this point, please do not think about how realistic it is. It is having a dream that drives us to reach beyond standard expectations. Dreams have no limitations. You can do anything. When you learn to dream, you won't see limitations in real life either. Your dream is where your success begins. Nothing can stop you when you have a real dream. As soon as you have a dream and feel the desire to get what you dream of, you have a goal.
The dreams and vision is the most important thing. So the dream alone is not important because we all dream. But you have to have a very clear vision. What is it that you want to accomplish? Interestingly enough, that most people cannot answer that question. When I said to them, I said, well, okay, you're going to school. You're 17 years old. Why are you going to school? My parents said they have to go to school. That's no real reason. I said, well, what do you want to accomplish later on in life? Even when they go to university, they don't know. 70% of the people don't know. Say, well, I just go to university because that's the next thing you do. So they don't know. So I feel sorry for them because I feel like I was very fortunate because at the age of 15, I was very clear that I want to be a world champion in bodybuilding. At the age of 10, I was very clear, and I saw it very clearly, that I want to be in America. I didn't look at myself as an Austrian. I looked at myself, I want to be American. Mm-hmm. And now I've been living over there for 50 years. I see myself as an Austrian and as an American. But that was my dream at the age of 10. Didn't matter what my father said. He said to me, I want you to be a police officer. My mother wanted me to get married in Austria and have 5 kids and all of that. These were their visions. These were their dreams, but not mine. My dream was to be in America. Then later on, my dream was to be a bodybuilding champion and to get into acting and to do movies and all of this. And I didn't care how much work it takes. I always felt like there's 24 hours a day and I'm going to work my ass off to do everything that it takes to get there, to make that dream become a reality. And that hard work made me happy because I knew I was going somewhere.
Super.
Yeah.
People often make a huge mistake. While they dream of one thing, they set totally different goals. Their dreams seem so far beyond their reach that they don't even dare to think about turning it into reality. In the end, they do nothing but continue to live a life of routine and boredom. At this point, you still do not need to think about the way to achieve your dream. Firstly, you need to clearly understand what it is that you want. Let it be something incredible, ambitious, grandiose. Let this dream intimidate you with its scale. Let it seem unreachable, unachievable. This is exactly what you need. It is only then that you will be able to find enough energy, enough inspiration, and enough strength to achieve it. State your thoughts out loud. Make sure you sound loud and confident. Scream if you need to. Begin every sentence with I want and I can. Sound as if you have already achieved your goal. For instance, if you want to become a millionaire, then say, I want to become a millionaire. I can become a millionaire. And then say it even more confidently. I am a millionaire. Try it. Put all your soul and all your passion into the statement. Let nothing hold you back. Now that you know the ideal that you aspire toward, turn it into an achievable goal. The goal is different to the dream because it is more specific. For instance, do you simply wish to become rich or you wish to become a millionaire? And not God knows when, but in 5-year time. You need to make your goal not only specific, you need to see yourself achieving it already. Imagine what you will achieve. Paint a picture in your mind, as vivid, as bright as possible. Now you will need to concentrate all your attention on the image that you have created in your imagination. Keep thinking about what you want to achieve. This must become your fixed state. Now your goal will become an anchor of sorts for you. You must focus all your thoughts and actions on that goal. From now on, concentrate all of your attention on that goal alone. Now you will need to break down that large goal into smaller, short-term goals. By achieving the short-term goals, you will be getting closer and closer to achieving your main goal. Most remarkably, it will no longer seem as colossal and unachievable as before. You may hear that there is no sense in looking further than 6 months ahead, perhaps a year. That's a big mistake. If your horizon spans just several days or weeks, your goals will never be ambitious enough. Before moving on, I will tell you a story that will perhaps make you look at your real capabilities in a new light. I receive hundreds of comments daily. One of my subscribers mentioned that he had been saving his loose change every day as an experiment. He'd put away as much as he could for a whole year, and then counted the money. In 1 year, he had saved as many as 5 of his monthly paychecks. This is exactly how short and long-term work. Set your long-term goal and pursue them by achieving smaller short-term goals. Be consistent and persistent. There is something else that you need to know. When we hear people say, I wish I had a yacht, a car, a house, or I would love to be a millionaire, see the catch? These phrases are empty. They show absolutely no faith in actually achieving these goals. These statements reflect hopes, not goals. These kinds of hopes drain us of power and energy as we waste our time thinking about them. As harmless as they might seem, hopes are very dangerous. When you fill yourself with hope, you live in a false reality. As a result, you never get anywhere in the real world. Your goal is your own decision that you embrace and are ready to follow until it becomes a reality. Your goal must be specific. I want, I will, I'll achieve, I can, and I will do it. When waking up, ask yourself, how will I use this day? Before going to bed, ask yourself, what have I accomplished using this day? Pythagoras. Principle number 6. Action. Do you know what many people think of those who are successful and wealthy? They're lucky. How do I know this? Because people always say this to me. So, here's the story. Listen carefully. Before I ran into my luck, this is what I did. We went into business in the 1990s. When there were no mobile phones, we had a rotary phone which we dialed and wrote down our lists of appointments for the day. We made around 10 to 15 appointments a day and traveled back and forth between them. Now, it's unusual to invite somebody to your house for a meeting. No one does it anymore. All meetings are held in cafes and restaurants. But back then, there were no cafes. There were some seedy, rundown joints, smoky, unbelievably stinky. So initially, we went to our customers' homes. That's how it was. Sometimes we would arrive, ringing the doorbell again and again. No one answered. So we would turn around and go to the next person on the list. Then we would travel to the next person after that. That's what I did. Travel from place to place, knocking on doors, generating my sales. That's how it all started for me. Each day I would travel 300 or 400 kilometers. 300 or 400. Each year it amounted to about 60,000 kilometers of travel. Not even every taxi driver drives around that much. I would have to replace my car every 1 or 2 years. They would be wrecked after 2 years. And I was ready for the next one. As of today, I've had around 50 cars. None of them could stand the load. I'm talking about cars made of iron. An iron car could not survive the task that a human being could. Many people just see the tip of the iceberg, the success that someone has today. They ignore the immense amount of work that took the person to the summit. They ignore it. They don't pay any attention to it, believing that it's all good luck. This is just one fairy tale about success. A fairy tale that many smart adults believe. You know what happens next? Once they believe in luck, they never take any chances to improve their lives. They wait, they hope, they expect to receive what they want without actually doing anything. They justify their inaction by saying that they always seem to lack something that could help them achieve success. It could be talent, opportunity, knowledge, support. I wish I was younger. I wish I was better at selling. I wish my boss was kinder to me. They say this instead of rolling up their sleeves and pursuing their goal day by day. Their heads are in the clouds. They do not wish to work consistently. It takes from 3 to 5 years to achieve considerable results. They all hope that one day $1 million will just fall from the sky. My personal life experience tells me that there is much more reliable and sincere way of becoming a millionaire. You just need to continue working decisively and persistently on achieving your goal. I will do it. If you want to become wealthy and successful, remember this phrase, I will do it. Let this phrase become your motto. Many people choose not to do anything. They do not want to exert any effort. They don't wish to improve themselves. They don't want to leave their comfort zone. The truth about life is, we need to act to achieve greatness. So, choose yourself. You can continue doing what you usually do and achieving the same results, or you can choose to do something new and progress to a higher level. Consciously, take an active position and tell yourself, I will do it. These simple words have considerable significance. This is the way to tell yourself that you are the master of the situation. Then, you must support what you know with decisive action. Then, there will be no barriers for you. This is the kind of mindset you will need to keep every day. Always ask yourself, have I done everything I could? Remember this. Now, there is one question remaining. What should you be doing? Start with something you can do right away. Don't waste your time wondering if it's the best solution. Simply do what you can. As soon as you begin, you'll notice the first results. Most importantly, you will notice new opportunities arising, ones that you never suspected you had. And this is when the most interesting thing happens. With time, you will begin learning the ins and outs. You'll develop your gut feeling. This feeling will help you find the most effective ways and means to achieve your goal. But most importantly, before you begin, convince yourself that you will succeed. Think and act as if you already visited the future and seen the results of what you still have to do. Tell yourself that you simply know that things will always turn out your way. Make sure you remember to keep this mindset. All your thoughts and actions must be focused on the work you're doing. Don't waste your time on fears and doubts. Pursue your goal calmly and confidently. You will succeed, I guarantee it. But I must warn you, there's a very dangerous trap that quite a few people fall into. Naturally, whenever you begin something new, you encounter difficulties. This happens, it's common. But when you find yourself in a difficult situation, you have a choice. You can give up on the idea because it seems too difficult, or find a way to overcome the difficulties. You have to decide whether or not to continue. If you decide to continue, you must start looking at the situation and assessing your capabilities. Usually, most people think they won't be able to succeed, so they end up choosing the simplest solution. Can you guess what it is? Of course, they choose to do nothing. They say nothing will come out of it anyway. Those who achieve success think differently. They view difficulties as tasks they need to solve to achieve what they want. They see a goal in front of them and understand that they can always find a solution that will allow them to achieve it. They don't ask themselves whether or not to do something because it is challenging. This means that you too will need to develop this habit. Always ask yourself, how can I accomplish this? Focus your whole mind on the task. This will help you to adapt your thinking and search for new opportunities. You will begin thinking and acting a new way, and you will certainly find the solution you need. Wow, look! Wow, what a catch. Be confident that you can do anything and that you will succeed. Start right now and always do your best. Dedicate your effort to completing the task. Use every opportunity, every chance. If you have done at least one thing to achieve your goal, then you are closer to achieving your main goal today than you were yesterday. It is just by doing that you will be able to experience your first results. Your way to success will be a long one, and it is your consistent effort that will take you to the goal. All great achievements are made by a series of smaller actions done daily. Remember, you may take a step toward your goal every day. You must take the first step. You just need to act. One minute defines the outcome of a battle. 1 hour, the outcome of a campaign. 1 day, the fate of an empire. Alexander Vasilovich Suvorov. Principle number 7. Now. Now I'll tell you something else that's surprising. So focus. Some say you're given just one chance, and once you miss it, you will never accomplish your dream. But here's a secret. You are not giving that one chance at all. Opportunities are not looking out for us. Have you noticed how many people wait for the right moment before they begin something new? They wait for favorite circumstances, they promotion, next summer, Monday. Yes, they keep saying that they want to plan everything thoroughly. They say they need to accumulate their strength. When they feel ready, they say they will start. Others, meanwhile, pursue their goal step by step. They do what they need to do every day. As a result, 10 years later, these people are still dreamers and are still waiting for their miraculous chance. The latter, however, have already achieved what they wanted and have moved on to something new. You simply waste your time waiting for the ideal conditions. We must create new opportunities for ourselves. Otherwise, the opportunities that we didn't take will be discovered and carried by someone else. That person will be bolder and more decisive and act faster. Sometimes, when it is time to take a first step, you are unable because you don't want to make that first decision. And it seems like a good idea to just sit around and do nothing. But somewhere deep down you feel that you are deceiving yourself. You know deep down that you need to begin acting immediately. You may have heard the saying, some people look for opportunities, others for excuses. Many fail because at an important junction, they can't make the decision to take the first step toward their goal. This is how they waste their opportunities. The successful people, on the contrary, act fast and decisively. Take a mental note. They are decisive. They act whenever they can see an opportunity. From the outside, it may seem like they've just been lucky, but in fact, it's their ability to see excellent opportunities that allow them to be successful. They quickly make their decisions and act. Do what you need to do, when you need to do it. Act now. Teach yourself to do so. It doesn't matter if it's in the evening or in the weekend. It doesn't matter if you're tired or it seems trivial. Success doesn't know the word later, because often later means never. If you don't develop the qualities needed to achieve success, the qualities I describe in this film, then others will enjoy the fruits of your labor, and you will end up being a hard-working employee who never progresses further. Many people work hard day in and day out. They never take any days off, never have any vacations. Do they ever get wealthy? Unfortunately, most of them hardly make the ends meet. Meanwhile, others do not live to work. They find time for their families, and yet they become multi-millionaires. I must say that working hard is not enough to become a wealthy person. To become wealthy, to achieve success, you need to learn to make use of every opportunity. You can train yourself to do just that, like you train when you work out. Then, how should I do it, you ask? Right now, as you are listening to me, you will learn the most simple and effective way, how to see the favorable opportunities and make use of them. Start with your everyday routine. When you decide what to buy, what to wear, what to eat, and so forth, do it quickly. Often we hesitate while making very simple decisions. Don't hesitate. Teach yourself to hurry up. And now, the most important thing. If you learn to make the small daily decisions quickly, you will then learn to make quick decisions while accomplishing things that are more important. So deliberately tell yourself to hurry up. Do so for at least 2 weeks, and you will see the great progress. Please note, I'm not saying this will be the right solution for you. There's a key factor that slows everything down. People are afraid of making mistakes, so they delay making their decisions. Never do this. Make a decision and act, even if later you discover that you've made a wrong one. With time, you will only know how to make faster decisions. You'll also develop a gut feeling that will help you to make the right decisions. Now I have a question. How was your day today? Are you happy with your achievements? Have you achieved something that brings you closer to your goal? It's a big mistake to sit around waiting for the right moment. Time is a very valuable resource that cannot be returned. If you fail to act now, at this present moment, you will not get the results you want in the future. You cannot simply hope that things will work out well in the future if right now things are not working too well. In fact, it's a self-deception. You will not earn $1 million simply by waiting. When you delay something, you simply rid yourself from yet another opportunity to become successful and wealthy. Never doubt anything. Never look for an ideal solution. Act immediately. Be decisive and persistent. If you want something, if you have set goal, you made a decision, act now. This is perfect moment to take a confident step toward your success. For who is there who spends all day shooting and never hits the target? Cicero. Principle number 8. Obsession. When I was a cadet, I was also an athlete, part of a team. One day I remember running an obstacle track. I was the front runner. I saw a destroyed bridge ahead of me. I had to jump. 1 second and then bang! I saw sparks. My leg hurt terribly. I fell. Then I saw my best opponent passing me by. He had been right behind me the entire time. I got up, clenched my teeth, and then I caught up with him and finished first. I won. After the race, my friends took me to the medic. The medic examined me and said that I had torn some ligaments when I fell. I ended up having to wear a cast for a month. Now the question remains, where did I find the strength I needed? Interestingly, even to do something as routine as getting a cup, you still need motivation. You start doing something only when you really want it. For instance, when you want a cup of freshly brewed coffee or you want to become a millionaire. There is one important detail here. Not every desire leads to action. In order to act upon your desire, you must be powerful. The more you want something, the more actively and decisively you will act. Think about how much you want your next vacation. Or you can take some time off and relax in the sun. To be able to do so, you wake up every morning and go to work at a job you hate. You do all this so you can spend 1 week celebrating without a care in the world. This is exactly how passionate desire works. This is something that everyone knows, so it is hardly surprising. But now listen carefully. When you focus on your desire, you immediately feel a rush of energy.
What is important is always that we have a goal, whatever that goal is, because then it makes it fun and it makes you happy when you get up in the morning and you go and you work towards your goal. It doesn't matter if you work in hard labor. It doesn't matter if you have to study hours and hours every day. It doesn't matter if you have to train every day. If you do whatever it takes to reach that goal of yours, your vision, to make your vision become a reality. This is really what is important. And from that comes happiness, from that comes courage, from that comes kind of a sense of accomplishment. All of those things, happiness, everything comes from that, achieving that goal.
Sometimes when you begin something new, you have absolutely no desire to do anything at all. So what to do then? There's one well-tested way I'm about to share with you. You just need to start. You need to accomplish the small steps toward achieving your goal. Even when you are not feeling motivated, even when you don't want to do it. With time, you will feel interested and motivated enough to continue. You will feel charged, energized, and more driven than when you first started. Now your progress and desire will push you forward and won't let you stop. The passionate desire to get what you want is a powerful force that nothing can contain. It is the desire that fills you with energy you need to achieve your goal, no matter how incredible it might seem. That happens because any burning desire or passion gives us an access to an unlimited hidden resources that each of us has. Remember the situation I started with. I came first even with torn ligaments. This all happened because I was simply overcome by my goal to win. I wanted it so passionately that nothing could stop me.
We don't know what your best is. Sometimes you can surprise yourself. So you have to go all out. You have to go beyond your best. You have to go beyond, and you break records. Remember, records are there to be broken. So if someone jumps 2 meters high, then you can jump 220 meters, 2 meters and 20 high. So, it's like if someone lifts 1,000 pounds, why not go and try to lift 1,100 pounds? So you got to always go beyond of what anyone else has done. Never set limits. We don't know what our limits are. We have to surprise ourselves. That is the important thing.
Often people are not enthusiastic enough to achieve their goals, so they are not interested in giving in everything they got. In the end, their results are mediocre. Here's a big secret for you. The problem for many people lies not in them lacking energy or abilities. They simply don't want anything badly enough. and they're not determined to achieve their goal. Determination allows us to awaken hidden powers inside each of us. Your passion and enthusiasm serves as a key to inner strength and abilities. It is the strength of our desire that activates our will and creates super abilities. You become incredibly energetic, decisive, quick-thinking, persistent, and fast. You simply need to follow your desire. Let the passion to achieve goal fill every cell of your body. Start the fire of life inside you. Begin acting today. You can achieve any goal you really want. It is important to set priorities in everything you do, because if you don't, then secondary things, however necessary, will waste all your strength and won't let you reach the main goal. Igor Vasilievich Kurchatov. Principle number 9. Concentration. I would like to invite on stage someone whose efforts have helped the Synergy Global Forum to emerge as a project. He sincerely believes in the idea and has actively helped with its implementation. A patron of the arts, entrepreneur, business coach, a man of many talents, president of the international holding Life is a Good, Roman Vasilenko. Good afternoon, my favorite city. I was quite shy in my childhood, so when guests came, I hid in another room. But here's an interesting observation. As of today, I've held so many meetings and presentations that I can hardly count them all. Now, I get to speak in front of thousands of people. On many occasions, I've been surprised to hear that others think I am so naturally gifted. I could succeed at whatever I wanted. That's what many people think. They say natural ability is what allowed me to achieve success. At the same time, thousands of undiscovered geniuses and talented people can hardly make ends meet. They keep complaining that their talents are not appreciated and that they never noticed. It is surprising, though. We can guess that the secret of their success lies in their energy. Many people love showing initiative. You must have met people like that before. They're always busy with something. Do they ever achieve anything worthy? As you can see, it's not talent or energy that matters. So the question becomes, why do some people always get what they want, while others have to be happy with the little things? There's a very good saying, if you chase two hares, you won't catch either of them. Here's the deal. People set too many goals at once and never achieve a single one of them, because they waste their energy instead of concentrating on one important goal. We can achieve great success only when we concentrate all of our thoughts and actions into achieving that goal. The ability to concentrate on your goal is a valuable skill in successful people. So in order to achieve what you need to do, set your priorities and determine your main goal. For instance, if you decide to become a millionaire, this goal must outweigh all others. Everything that you do and think about must focus on creating $1 million of wealth. This must continue until you achieve that you have set out to do. I know that this thought might seem too bold. Our life is much more multifaceted, and we must do what we can to balance it all. In addition to our finances, we also have our families, health, personal development issues. But here's the deal. To achieve a truly ambitious goal, you will need to set your priorities straight and concentrate your attention on what you want to accomplish most of all. As soon as you achieve one goal, you can refocus on the next. Choosing the main goal and concentrating on achieving it is the key step to achieving success. If you're about to ask how this valuable skill is going to develop, you're asking just the right question. But firstly, I must warn you about something. In order to get something worthy, you will need to put in considerable effort. This is why people who are not persistent enough never finish what they start. They give up too quickly. If they were more persistent and patient, they could successfully deal with any complications and get what they want. Successful people know that you should not reap the harvest before it's time. Ripe fruit will fall into your hands. Remind yourself of this every time when you find yourself rushing to feeling impatient. Hopefully, you already understand how important patience and perseverance are. Work on developing these important qualities. Whatever it is you do, never retreat until you achieve the result you want. Do you know which mistake most people make? They start something without clearly realizing what they want to achieve in the end. Let's get into the fight and then we'll see what happens. Is a path that takes us nowhere. When we do so, we simply waste valuable resources that we have: time, effort, and money. Before we start doing something, we need to understand whether we should be doing it at all, whether we get what we need from it. Finally, when you determine your course of action, act fast and be persistent. Never look back. Never doubt anything. Most importantly, never drop what you have started before you get to finish line. Why is it so important to finish what you started? Simply because if you retreat again and again, you weaken your determination. You stop believing in your ability to achieve result. You stop believing in your ability to accomplish anything. So never allow this weakness to get the best of you. Do not allow others to provoke you when they say, "This is nonsense, it's just a phase." If we are persuaded to give up just 1 inch, our mood is powerfully affected. Train yourself to do one thing in one sitting. Concentrate all your thoughts and actions on doing that one thing. Work calmly, keep a measured pace. Never hurry or fret. Start a new project when you are done with the old one. Instead of doing several things half-heartedly, it's better to do one thing well. When we talk about concentration, it is important to realize one thing. I want you to listen to me with the utmost attention. Today, we feel the need to multitask. That we must be ready to do several things simultaneously. Many people believe that the more things they can do at the time, the more productive and effective they are. But do not hurry to conclusions. This illusion is more harmful than it initially seems. If you multitask for a long time and your attention is divided between 100 things at a time, you diminish your willpower. You become irritated, exhausted, and empty, like a squeezed lemon. So remember, it is the effectiveness of your every effort that counts, not the number of things you do. When you talk on the phone, concentrate on your conversation. When you write, concentrate completely and don't allow distractions. When you go shopping, just do your shopping. Don't talk on the phone, don't listen to music, don't chat with other people. Yes, even when you do simplest things, concentrate fully. This will help you work on your concentration skills. And that's not all. To develop your concentration, control your speech. Think before you speak. As you communicate, make sure you stick to the topic. Listen carefully and never interrupt others. Concentrate your thoughts on what the person is saying and not what you're thinking about. Be aware of your body movements. Don't scratch yourself. Touch your eyes or face. Don't fiddle with anything. Don't shake your legs. Many people just can't control themselves. It is as if their body lives a separate life. Take things under your control. Day after day, do what you must do to achieve your goal. Aspire to make every action effective. One success story leads to the next. This makes every day of your life productive, and you always get what you want in the end. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle. Principle number 10. Habits. You must have heard the saying, your habits are your second nature. The older we become, the more habits we develop. Watch yourself. Many of us have habitual thoughts, habitual actions, habitual emotions. We shop in the same shops, eat the same food, ride on the same bus, spend weekends the same way, and always make our favorite salad for Christmas. These activities always remain at the same level of efficiency at best. But more often than not, things get worse and worse with time. This happens because with age, any one of us who does not work on improving and developing becomes a slave to their own bad habits. So once you decide to achieve your goal, work on eliminating your bad habits and acquiring new useful ones instead. Remember once and for all, You can get rid of any habit, no matter how overwhelmingly powerful it is. You'll understand why in a minute. Even the most ingrained habits will only live if you feed them. You feed them every time you repeat a habitual thought, action, or emotion. As soon as you decide to use your willpower to act differently, your harmful habits will lose their energy and gradually weaken. When you decide to drop a harmful habit, do it immediately and go completely cold turkey. Former smokers will tell you that smoking one cigarette a day is deceptive. You either smoke or you don't. Otherwise, you can never achieve the result you want. To drop a harmful habit and acquire good habits, you need to know just two things. First, you must commit to doing the opposite of the habit you wish to eliminate. If you look down or let your eyes wander during conversation, teach yourself to look people in the eye. If you always complain that your life is too hard, stop listening to these intrusive thoughts and switch to thinking about your goal and planning to succeed. If you often fail to finish what you have started, set a deadline and learn to finish everything on time. As soon as you finish yourself thinking, I'll finish this tomorrow, tell yourself to go on and do it until you finished, as you originally intended. Carry on until you have completed everything. All you need to do is press on with the task. Do not what you used to do. Do what you have decided to do. Do it. Do it. Do it. Why not do it right now? Don't waste your time thinking it's over again, doubting yourself after a decision has been already made. Decisions are made to avoid wasting energy and time on the same old things. So, firstly, do get rid of negative habit. Always think and act to the contrary. Then your efforts will help you to replace a harmful habit with a useful one. You need to persevere to make sure your good habits replace the bad ones and get stronger and stronger. But is that enough? There is another quality you must have, and without it, you will never get rid of any bad habit. You must show patience and perseverance for some time. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. There's an important nuance here. You need to stick to your good habit for 21 days without stopping. If you continue for 20 days and then give up on your 21st, you will need to start anew. It won't help you to break a habit any faster by focusing and working hard. Only in the beginning. You must commit to breaking this habit and seeing it through. If not, you will not only fail to achieve what you want, you will reinforce a negative mindset of I've never succeeded at anything. So once you have decided to do something, go on until the end. Don't give up. Don't weaken your concentration, no matter how hard it might be. When you start moving in the right directions, the first steps will be difficult. But then, it will become easier as you discover your own inner strength and combine it with external support. Those who are motivated to do something always get support when they need it the most. Life itself will support you. Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. Seneca. Principle number 11. Control. If I had previously known what I am going to tell you now, I would not have made these terrible mistakes. They were the most terrible days of my life. I learned a lot back then, and I will share the most valuable lessons with you. Let's do a simple test. I'm sure you will be very surprised when you learn the results. Imagine this situation. You come to work one day as usual. It's a fine day, the sun is shining. I don't know how important it might seem to you, but in St. Petersburg, where I live, a sunny day is a celebration all in itself. You're looking forward to the weekend. Today is Friday, and you have big plans for the evening. And then you're suddenly called to the HR department. You are given an order to read. You have been fired. Everything blurs before your eyes. Your mind is confused. This can't happen. Then you get a call. Your bank tells you to pay your debt today, or else they'll take your apartment away. Then you get another call. It is your pregnant wife. She's in panic. She too got the call from the bank. You suddenly have lost everything in one day. You are now unemployed with no savings. You have always thought that you would have time to accumulate more money. You haven't. You have no one to turn to. Are you prepared for such turn of events? Do you have any alternative sources of support? Do you have a plan B? Or have you never given it a thought, like myself back in my time? This was why I made these terrible mistakes and found myself on the brink of a disaster. Listen carefully so you don't fall into these kind of traps and can rise in difficult situations. Some time ago, I created a joint business with my friend. He became my partner. Our business developed very quickly. We were on a roll, so to say. Our revenues reached millions. And it was then that I made my first mistake. Back then, I was not a very good judge of character or human nature. Simply said, I didn't understand that many people were motivated by fear and greediness. This was the lesson I learned back then. As we know, money gives us power. The more money, the more power. And this is the real test. People with money can lose their minds. They think that now they have money, they can do anything they please. On many occasions, I've seen people who bit off more than they could chew fail miserably. Because of their ego, they have lost their ability to think straight and their sense of reality. My friend was drunk with big money and power. He was so greedy that he decided to take the business away from me and leave me with nothing. He wanted me to disappear as his partner. He wanted to compromise my reputation, blackmail me, and threaten me. This was exactly what he did. It all happened in an instant before I could realize what was going on. I had a life-changing decision to make. Only imagine the dilemma. On one hand, you have the business turnover worth hundreds of millions of dollars. On the other hand, you have the safety of a family on the line. Now it is very difficult to believe that several years ago I hit rock bottom. My family had no money or housing. I lost everything. I had nothing left. I had nothing to feed my family with. That happened in January 2014. Today people ask me, Roman, you say you had nothing. Didn't you have any savings at all? The problem is that when I started my business with my friend, I made another serious mistake. I invested all my savings, all my resources into our joint business. It was everything I had. When experiencing euphoria, you can overestimate your strength and miss out on very important detail. This can lead to catastrophic results. Back then, I did not pay enough attention to this. You need to develop your ability to think rationally and critically. You need to access your reality more effectively and make adequate, well-thought-through decisions. But this is not the whole story. As you understand, these mistakes could have destroyed my life. But there was one thing that allowed me to survive that disaster and achieve the height that I could never have dreamed of at the time. Listen on. When I found myself on the edge of the precipice, I started thinking, okay, he stole my money, I'll earn some more. Humiliation and lies, well, I'll deal with that. But what more could I do? Should I start with revenge? It would take time, efforts, money, or else I could spend the same resources on creating a new business. When I assessed the situation carefully, I saw that the financial and intellectual cost in both situations would be similar, so I made a decision. The most important thing is whether we can control ourselves. When controlling yourself, you control everything. Firstly, start monitoring yourself and do it all the time. We are used to thinking that it's quite difficult. However, this is just a mere habit. It reminds me of driving a car. The driver must stay focused on the road and never lose control. But while initially it could be quite difficult, now it is the second nature. Each time you feel irritated, exercise your will and patience as best as you can do in order to keep these destructive emotions from overcoming you. And one more point. Remember what we started with. If you don't have a plan B yet, start working on it right now. As the wise saying goes, prepare your sled in the summer and your cart in the winter. Take care of yourself and your family. No one else will do it for you. When I found myself having to make a choice as to what to do next, I decided to start from the scratch. This time, I had valuable experience to start with. If you want to begin something new or take a risk, think careful and then think again. Gather all the available information, weigh the pros and cons. This makes them less observant. And this is why they become an easy catch for criminals and crooks. Fortunately, we can learn from other people's mistakes, and I hope you came to the right conclusion from my story. The most important thing is never start anything unless you understand the rules and always have a plan B. Iron rots from disuse. Stagnant water loses its purity and in cold weather becomes frozen. Even so does inaction sap the vigor of the mind. Leonardo da Vinci. Principle number 12. Development. It is a well-known fact that the fastest and most effective way of learning something is to find someone who succeeded and then follow their example. So quite often, you will hear that to achieve success you need a mentor. But there's something interesting. This example proves the opposite. As strange as it might seem, I never had one specific mentor. I kept monitoring successful people and learned something from each of them. I copied their manner of thinking, their behavior, their attitude to problems and difficulties. As a result, I can call hundreds of people my mentors. Definitely you're much better off than I had once been. This film will be your best mentor. Step by step, it will take you closer to success. I want you to note that a mentor is not someone who provides you with the magic solution to your problems. If this is what you're waiting for, you will be terribly disappointed when you will hear me say this. Your mentor can show you the direction and set an example, but you will need to act on your own. No mentor will substitute your burning desire to achieve your goal. No mentor will do your work for you. Development does not come all by itself. This is your task, your responsibility. You can be anyone you want to be at any point in your life. If you have any weaknesses or shortcomings today, it is your power to change all of it. Are you shy? Teach yourself to be confident. Are you bad with money? Learn to deal with money. Everything is in your power. Even you yourself is responsible for shaping your personality every day, every minute. Let me tell you about two more important qualities that every successful person needs. Willpower is one. They say some people have more willpower than the others. This is an inaccurate opinion. Every human being has willpower. There are people who achieve their goals after learning to use their willpower for their own benefits, while others simply have not discovered such possibilities. Many people ask me, where to start? We want to work on your willpower. Here's 3 pieces of advice that I can have for you. Start following right away. Firstly, no matter what task is ahead of you or what work you have to do, make it a rule not to do things as thoroughly as possible. You must remember that it will help you to develop your willpower. Secondly, make it a habit to concentrate on doing one task at a time and always finish what you started. Thirdly, once every few days, do something that you find difficult or unpleasant. This develops your ability to use your will when you need it. The more often you use your willpower, the stronger it becomes. Even the smallest tasks done this way will significantly strengthen your will. After a few weeks, persistent practice will bring you to develop confidence in yourself. Now, no matter what business you undertake, you will succeed. You will develop your willpower. If you do it by yourself, you will need to put in effort and be patient in order to get a decent result. Initiative is another very important quality of a successful person. Lack of initiative is very often the reason why people do not succeed. They're waiting for instructions and orders. They need advice and solutions. Despite the fact that they're smart and talented people, they live their whole lives in poverty and complacency. It might initially appear that they're just unlucky, but do you know why it's actually happening? They simply do not take the necessary initiative. You must have seen on many occasions how often that many worthy people are not promoted for years, while their colleagues, who are probably not as smart, climb the career ladder very quickly. You may often hear these people being described as pushy, aggressive, lucky. In fact, however, all they do is act on their own interests. It is the attitude that allows them to achieve more success than their modest colleagues, more than they could ever dream of. Do you know that everything in this life comes at a price? It is naive to think that only lucky people can achieve success. Success is achieved by those who do not waste their energy, those who act decisively and audaciously. Remember that it is only you who is responsible for success in your life, and you can do it. Don't wait for any assistance from others. Don't put your faith in good luck and good fortune. Teach yourself to show initiative, to think and act in your own interest. I want to remind you that education and intellect have nothing in common with success. To become a millionaire, you don't need to have the IQ of 140 or to be a Nobel Prize winner. What does this mean for you? To be successful, you need to learn a lot and gain many new skills. You cannot learn and progress by simply skimming over information. You must be able to find really useful things in the great flow of information around you. Then you need to turn the "I've heard about it" to knowledge into the "apply in real life" knowledge. You can't get back your dreams or your years. Alexander Sergeyevich Pushkin. I often see people who aspire to be successful and wealthy make particular mistake. People start applying the principles of success to their life and see the first results. Their life starts changing for the better. They achieve the smile goals they initially set. But is what it ends for them. When they get exactly what they had first dreamt of, for instance, some people say they want to become millionaires, while in fact all they wanted was to get rid of debts. When they get what they wanted, they are satisfied and no longer wish to exert any effort, letting things slide. Meanwhile, they still have to do the habits they need. After a while, things return back to where they initially began. Then these people get surprised and say that's my principles don't work. They never become millionaires, and they never reach the level of life they hoped for. You can say whatever you like about millions, luxurious homes, or yachts, but deep down, you don't believe that you deserve any of these things, you will never get them. Usually, when someone is wealthy and successful, they understand that they created their success themselves. But when someone is a failure, they blame others. Their situation is their bad luck, the lack of talent and abilities. Everyone else is guilty. Their parents, teachers, the government, their spouse, their bosses at work. You will practically never hear people say, I am lazy, slow, and I lack initiative. I choose entertainment instead of pursuing my goal. I give up and never take another step toward my goal. I whine and complain instead of looking for solutions and answers to my problem. I know what I should be doing, but I simply do not do it. Overall, I'm not doing the things I should be doing to achieve success. Have you noticed that successful people look just like you? They live on the same earth, in the same cities, they have the same biological makeup, they have 24 hours a day and 12 months a year. They sleep because they're just like you. They need to relax and restore their strength. They eat, they travel in cars and fly in planes, as other people do. They use phones to talk to those who are far away. That's what you do as well. Successful people cannot teleport or recharge their solar energy. They're just like everyone else. They're just like you. So, what is the reason for their success? What is the key difference between successful people and the people who fail to succeed? Successful people believe in themselves. They are confident and unshakable. This is why they set big goals and go do great things. They know how to use their resources. People who achieve success learn to conserve their energy, not waste it in vain. Invest all your energy into what you're doing. Do not get distracted. Do not wait for quick results. There will always be many critics and idle people surrounding those who are working to achieve something great. Ignore their criticism. Don't try to impress them or prove anything to them. Concentrate all your energy on achieving goals.
And no matter if you're 70 years old, you should have a vision of where you want to go. And if you're 10 years old, you should have a vision of where you want to go. So I recommend very strongly for people to get in touch with themselves. Not to be on the internet, not to be on the iPhone and on iPads and all of those kind of things, but to really take time and to sit by themselves and to just think, where do I want to go in life? What do I want to be? What should my next 10 years look like? You have to have a plan, because then it's fun to go and work.
Do not underestimate yourself or overestimate others. You are made of the same material as the most successful people who have ever lived. You have great potential, great abilities and talents. You're an extraordinary person. Ordinary people wouldn't watch a film like this. Start acting today. Apply the principles I have told you. Boldly pursue your goals and wholeheartedly believe in yourself. Declare to the world that you are worthy and the world will agree with you. In this universe, in this powerful, unlimited universe, you have everything you could dream of. You are a part of this universe, and the universe will give you everything that you want. I am a millionaire. I am decisive, bold, audacious, and goal-oriented. I act today. I am focused and determined. I'm responsible for my habits, control my life, and I'm developing continuously. I always achieve what I want to achieve. Roman Vasilenko.